It's brought thousands of visitors from all over the world to Western New York to view the stunning work of Frank Lloyd Wright. And as Daybreak's Pete Gallivan tells us, even after all the work has been done, they're still uncovering unknown stories of Western New York.
The Darwin Martin House, a place where history continues to emerge.
We're also proud to be a New York State Historic Site.
A place where they're expecting between 75 and 80,000 visitors next year alone.
More than just a house, this 1.5-acre estate is a grouping of buildings designed over 100 years ago by America's greatest architect, Frank Lloyd Wright.
And for the folks working on the former home of Larkin Soap Company executive Darwin Martin, this is a labor of love.
And the Martin House is without equal.
But not without an endless supply of hidden masterpieces that continue to be discovered.
3, 2, 1.
And brought back to life, as is the case with this spectacular leaded and stained glass mosaic fireplace.
When it was installed originally in the early 1900s, it was a four-sided wraparound glass mosaic with tens of thousands of individual pieces of glass.
Unveiled just a couple of weeks ago, more than a century after it was originally designed and installed.
The original fireplace was lost when this house was abandoned.
It fell victim to not only thieves and vandals, but also to the elements.
They fell to the floor, the glue loosened, and they were swept up and thrown away.
Or so they thought. For the past 21 years since the restoration began, they had old photos, designs, and anecdotal evidence, but nothing original from which to work, until work crews discovered this unknown story.
Wonderfully, they actually cleaned out the ash pit in the basement and found a large number of the original fragments that had been swept into the ash pit.
So there are about 50 original pieces in this spectacular recreation done the old-fashioned way by Body's Studio of Architectural Art in Chicago.
And they hand-cut, hand-patterned, hand-fired, ground, homemade glass, handmade glass, painted each piece of glass with some amount of liquid gold, laid it up in patterns, grouted it, and set them on 28 large glass panels that were then shipped to Buffalo and affixed to the foundation.
Another piece of this architectural puzzle that continues to come together on what is the only Frank Lloyd Wright complex that entwines several residential structures with landscaping and design elements.
Wright always described the fireplace as the symbolic heart of the house, and so we're so pleased that the fireplace is back.
This is a man who had a prolific career over many, many decades, and at the end of it assessed his own career and said, in Buffalo, New York, I created my opus. It's the Martin House.
Where they continue to find hidden history buried within the walls of this grand estate and within the unknown stories of Western New York.
Very impressive. 6:45 now. Let's get you started for the day with a look at our top stories, traffic.